how can you help people have better sex? Specifically, Victor from VictorSalmon.com. How are you helping people have better sex? I'm Kathy Martilli from theintimacydojo.com. And Victor, I love the work you do out in the world. What are you doing? Like, I know you've updated your website and you've added some focuses in there. Would you like to share what you're doing?
I would love to. One of the things I'm currently launching, independent from my website and all the accountability process work and all the volunteering I do in my local kink scene as director at large and my regular day job, I'm also deciding it's a great idea to take on the work of doing a podcast because I want to help people have better sex. Yeah. I want to encourage people to negotiate. I want to demo for people, real people having real relationship conversations about real sex they're going to go have, and then show people the debrief afterwards of how did it go. I want to really model that ongoing consent of how did this land for you? Yeah. What could be better about next time? And really just encourage people to have a growth-focused approach to intimacy, to sex, to relationships, all those things.
Wonderful. I really appreciate that you're doing the work. What's one of the questions that you've heard that, like really was like, oh, I need to make sure this gets out there?
I guess for me, as a kinky queer person, sometimes I get vanilla people saying, but how do you ask to have, say, anal sex? Or how do you ask to do cunnilingus? Or how do you approach these really common questions where people are like, oh, I just can't quite ask my partner for it, but I really, and they do it sometimes, and I really just want to communicate with them and let them know, I would love if we did this a billion times more. Right? How can you ask your partner for all of these exciting, fun, juicy types of sex that you've had in the past or want to have? How do you introduce the idea of asking for a third or having a threesome or going to a sex party? How do you do that without the shame and fear of being completely rejected and just feeling like you've lost this lifetime monogamous relationship, if that's your situation? I'm a non-monogamous person, but I still sometimes am concerned about how are things going to land? How is this going to affect my relationship?
Well, I think there's fear of being laughed at, or
Absolutely. It's the shame, it's the embarrassment, it's all these narratives that we tell ourselves that we know sometimes are not likely, but even a 2% chance is oh, I can't handle it. The shame would be too much to bear.
Well, and our partner, if we're sexual with someone, generally that person is considered by our society as really close to us. We've let them very close. So them kind of laughing is very different from some random person laughing at us on the street. It's right to the heart. And I don't think it's normalized, especially for heterosexual, straight, it's just come on, there's not a model for talking about stuff. I think in the lesbian community, the queer community, there's a lot more I don't know what you want because I haven't been conditioned by society to think we must do these things, then the penis goes in the hole, and then we orgasm, and then you go to sleep.
Yes, and we is a very loose, very loose term there.
Yes. So I think it is really awkward. I love the analogy with my coaching clients is that it's like a muscle you have to build up. It's going to be really hard at first, really awkward at first, but it gets easier the more we talk about it. And if we can start role modeling for our partner, it's okay to ask too and say no. I love that you're teaching that and you're getting out there with that. What is your predominant, your demographic? What group are you trying to reach the most? Or is it just anyone interested in sex?
Oh my goodness. What is the group I'm trying to reach the most? It's almost like I've had no education in marketing whatsoever.
Yeah.
I have no idea what my target demographic is. I'm doing my best to produce high quality content and let the demographics it appeals to show up.
Yeah.
And once I have a podcast, once I have made a thing, I can always look at the course that ship is on and steer it.
Yeah.
However, until I have a thing going, my main focus is just finding the hours, finding the energy, and finding the people. Fortunately, my community has some really awesome people that I'm super excited to interview.
That's
people
great.
that are looking for thirds, people that do really awesome negotiations. For the pilot, I negotiated with one of my partners.
Yeah, nice.
I try and anonymize people so they're not afraid of what things will sound like. I want to try and eliminate the fear of being seen in society. There is a power that comes with anonymity. When you interview two people who are mean and they have to talk about their sex lives, they will put on their best selves.
Yeah. Of course, we have great sex all the time. We have orgasms all the time. Our sex is wonderful.
Of course, my partner makes me come 110%, right?
Yes.
Twice every night. However, if you start putting an anonymous face on things and you set expectations, and this is my number one takeaway that I would offer the audience right now, is setting healthy expectations. If you're afraid to have a conversation, don't drop that conversation out of the blue into the current inhospitable framework of your relationship. Change the framework so it's hospitable.
Yeah.
Set the expectations. I want us to be able to talk about our relationship. I want us to be able to share our most intimate fears. And start there. If you feel like you're too afraid to actually talk about ambitious sex, start with talking about the fear. Start with setting a healthy framework in your relationship to hold these conversations. Then start dropping in the vanguard of having the best cunnilingus or the best anal sex. Right? Drop in, and I'm just using the most cishet example.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah.
Very sorry.
Yeah. I like cunnilingus with all kinds of people. So. Legit. But I think asking each other, like, what does that look like for you? Like, for me, it'd be really slow and tender for a long time, and then it could be something else. But, like, for someone else, it's like, I want you to throw me down on the bed and push me down and, like, just take me. Like, asking and, like, negotiating for what both people feel like is a good, or all the people feel like is a good fit, rather than just...
Are different. I have partners who have literally given me the instruction, treat my clitoris like it's a penis. I don't get off the way normal, quote unquote, whatever that means.
Yeah.
The way people expect my clitoris to function is not how it functions.
Yeah.
And if you just treat it like it's any clitoris and any stimulation will work, you're not going to get me off.
Yeah.
Treat it like it's a penis. And I had to really, really rethink the way I approached treating that person's clit. And to this day, I am totally comfortable sharing. I haven't mastered it. I don't think, I may be mistaken, but I don't think I've caused that person an orgasm or given that person an orgasm. And I'm okay with that. I am a flawed individual that is sometimes going to be underperforming.
Well, sometimes practice can be a lot of fun, too.
Yes, it can. Definitely.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's very important for us to normalize it. And that what worked for me yesterday may not work for me today. And the great synergy we had is like, and humans do, like, I've farted during cunnilingus. I've had my partner fart. Like, we don't talk about that. You don't see that in porn. They cut it out unless it's a fetishized thing. So I think, just letting people know that bodies do body things, and we can explore and see if we can be in the moment exploring and communicating. We're going to create some pretty amazing things most of the time.
Yep.
So.
And again, like you said, normalizing things.
Yeah.
Being able to normalize something to the point where you're not ashamed to say, give me a second.
Yeah.
I take a fart.
Yes. Well, sometimes you're just surprised. And you're like, I'm really sorry. Do you need to come up here for a little while?
Yeah, that was definitely a clench response. It happens.
Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, I really love that you're normalizing this and getting it out there. I can't wait till you get when you get it, please send me the link. I'll make sure it's below this video.
So excited.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and I love how you look at things. I think you'll add a lot of value for people. If you want to find out more about Victor, you can go to victorsalmon.com, and you can also support his work at patreon.com/VictorSalmon. Please leave comments and questions below.